What's up, everybody, and welcome to From the Top Rope. I am your host, Gerge Brooms, and this is episode number 35, the week in review for wrestling. But before we get started, don't forget you can follow me on Instagram at I Hate Gerge Brooms. You can also follow this podcast at From the Top Rope Podcast. You can also follow us on TikTok now at From the Top Rope. You can also look us up on YouTube and check out our videos at Gerge Brooms or look up From the Top Rope Podcast. Don't forget, I am the general manager of Combat Sports Pro. That's a local wrestling promotion here in Fort Walton Beach. Our next show is coming up on June 26th. That's this Saturday, 6 days away. I can't wait. Tropic Combat. There it is. Tropic Combat coming up, and the main event, a TLC triple threat tag team match for the Combat Sports Pro Tag Team Championship. Holy shit, it's going to be a doozy. Come check us out if you're local in the Fort Walton Beach area. Don't forget, we're also sponsored by Bath AF. They are the best bath bombs in the world. Check them out on Instagram at I Love Bath AF. You can follow from there. You can follow it to their Etsy page. You can customize your soak today. We are also sponsored by Twin Hippo Designs. That's at Twin Hippo Designs on Instagram. Simple designs for lovers of simple things, cute stationery items to enhance that relationship you have with your customer if you own a small business. Once again, that's at I Love Bath AF and at Twin Hippo Designs. I am so excited because I got my homie Eric on the show again today. I'm going to kick it over to him. What's up, Eric? How the hell are you doing today?
Hanging out, man. Finally got to Las Vegas. Once again, I'm back on the show. Finally, I know you tried to get me last time, but hopefully we can get a good routine going. You can follow my social media. I'm big into fitness. I'm amateur bodybuilder right now. At one point, I did step in the ring, but I'm a longtime wrestling fan. I definitely still keep track of it. We'll talk about the ring stuff later, hopefully at a different episode.
Yeah.
But you can definitely follow me on Instagram at E_RY_truth. You can also go to animalpack.com, use my code ERYDECKY. I'm sure we'll put it somewhere. If not, it's on my Instagram page. Get 10% off. Feel free to DM me with any questions. Fitness, life. If you need a friend, I don't really have any friends out here, so I'm more than welcome to talk to anybody. Talk wrestling all the time. I did meet somebody the other day at the gym. We talked wrestling for like 30 minutes. It was great. But other than that, I know it's crazy. And he's going to SummerSlam too.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to SummerSlam. Finally in Vegas, the second WWE event in front of a live crowd. I will be there. I don't know if there's going to be a show before. However, it's going to be a gigantic event. I hear a lot of good things about it. They're actually doing tryout matches, which I got several links from several people telling me to do it.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
I already got one contract, so I don't know if I'm going to do another, i.e. the military contract. So we'll see. But it's funny that a couple of my buddies sent me that. I was like, yo, this is for you. But it should be a great weekend. Hopefully we can talk about that too. Let's see whatever else I can get involved in. But yeah. For sure, man. Glad to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. And I'm telling you, I was texting with you the other day about how I've got SummerSlam was on the 21st, and the 28th, I've already bought tickets to go ride my bike for 100 miles in Texas because I'm a psychopath. And it's a race that I love to do every year. And it's in Texas. And Caitlin's short tour right now. She's in Turkey. And so I've got to arrange childcare, and God damn it, I don't know if I can get 2 weekends in a row, but trust me, I'm keeping my my ear to the ground with SummerSlam tickets because that show is like the rumors and the dirt sheets and all that shit that are rolling out about that show. They've already mentioned that it's going to be as big as WrestleMania. It's going to be this year's version of WrestleMania
SummerSlam.
And bro, from what I'm hearing, John Cena versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, bro, get the fuck out of here. That is a lose my mind match. So I'm gonna do everything I can, if I can, I'll live vicariously through you. And I would love to have you back on the show after SummerSlam too to talk about how hype as fuck it was. I just saw the images too of inside Allegiant Field or Allegiant Stadium, and how they have because it's the Raiders, how they have the all black seats. I don't know why that shit looks slick as hell.
It's gonna be pretty awesome. I think. I don't know if it's limited. I heard it was still limited seating, but from when I was watching WrestleMania on TV, it didn't look like any of you guys were spread out. It looked like it was just normal. Obviously they weren't all full, so we'll definitely see. But that stadium is supposed to be pretty huge. I think they do tours. I haven't been able to get inside of it yet, so I probably honestly won't until SummerSlam. So it'd be pretty cool. I am trying to go to a Raiders game, but obviously that season doesn't start for a while.
Damn, oh god damn it. All right, I'm gonna try to get my life together.
Paid not a lot. I paid a decent amount. And then of course Ticketmaster screws you on tons of fees. But I think we got pretty good seats. We're not, I think we're like that first level because we're section 129.
Oh,
so it should be
first
pretty
level
good
kicks
seats.
ass. Yeah, first level kicks ass. That's where I was for WrestleMania. It was the first level. That's the best seat. That's a good seat just to sit back and chill and enjoy the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I still could have got a commemorative chair, so I don't know if I'm gonna be sitting on a chair. I doubt it, but I think they were charging chairs for like $150.
$100. Yeah. That's what they were doing for WrestleMania too.
Yeah, I didn't want one. I should have got one, but nah.
That's a really expensive chair, bro.
No kidding. I don't know. I mean, I don't know anywhere to put it. So,
but put it in your corner. There you go. Put it in your corner.
Exactly.
All right, so let's jump into the news. A lot of shit happened this week in wrestling, so I'm just going to kind of run down some of the news items I have here on my phone. Some of the things that came out this week: NXT announces the Great American Bash again this year, happening on July 6th. That's just going to be a special NXT show. The last one, I think last year, wasn't that when Keith Lee? I think Keith Lee won the NXT championship last year at that one.
I think it was when he won, because it was double. I think it was the double title.
Oh yeah, it was a double champion. Yeah,
because he beat Adam Cole and then he lost it like a month later to Cross.
And then they made him give up his damn North American championship too,
just to lose and to get called up. And where is he? Who knows?
He got called up and they put a skirt on him. Whatever. Keith Lee, I know Keith Lee's out. I don't know how much you keep up with the Keith Lee news, but he's out for an undisclosed reason, and I have no idea what the hell's going on with him.
Hopefully he's good, because he was. I mean, I'm not a huge Keith Lee fan as the character, but as an athlete, he's phenomenal.
Bro, he's the best. So, he's absolutely a beast.
Yeah, and I like the big men that can move. So
he's an early contender for me if he does come back for Money in the Bank, but that's a conversation for another podcast.
Yeah.
WWE is planning to go back to Saudi Arabia this year. How do you feel about the Saudi Arabia shows?
Didn't they just get like a lawsuit because of that? Or something? So I heard something with the lawsuit and has something about Saudi Arabia not even paying them.
So, I mean, if everyone remembers the debacle of them being held up on the tarmac because Vince McMahon was pissed off they didn't pay or something like that shit happened. But the lawsuit I heard was about insider trading, essentially, because apparently the McMahons dumped a bunch of stock. They sold a bunch of stock. And almost immediately after they sold that stock, the Saudi Arabia TV deal fell through, and so they're being sued. This is from I don't understand shit about stocks, but they're being sued because they apparently they knew about the Saudi Arabia TV deal falling through and dumped their stock before whatever that whole shit is. I don't understand it, y'all. This is why I'm from Alabama and I make podcasts on the internet.
I still don't agree with the Saudi shows. I think it's a glorified house show. It's nice that they bring some big names back, but I mean, when they brought Goldberg, Taker, Kane, and Undertaker together, I mean, it was just, they're all flops. So it's not even worth it.
That I remember I was in training. I was getting ready for my deployment, and all my friends, all my classmates, I was in a 2-week training class, and the weekend in between that was the Superstar Showdown or whatever the one that was Goldberg versus the Undertaker, the one where Goldberg knocked himself out. And the only thing that really frustrates me about the Saudi Arabia shows is not only the weird shit about the women and how the women aren't allowed on the show, and then the women that are allowed on the show, they have to like completely cover up. It's a little weird to me, but it's fine, I guess. But I hate how they make them important, even though at the end of the day, they're not really important.
No, they're glorified house show matches. Yeah. I've been to a few house shows in Pensacola, and I mean, sometimes you get, the good stars, but they're 7-minute matches, going through the motions, big finish, whatever.
Definitely going through the motions. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Here's something cool.
I did see Roman and Drew, though, in a DQ match, and they actually put on a pretty good show because Roman being hometown when he was a face a while back.
Yeah.
When they had that feud 2-3 years ago, whatever it was, that match was actually worth watching. So, I mean, once in a while you get a good show. But
Roman Reigns in Pensacola would have been sweet as hell. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
His dad was there, or because what is it, Afa? One of one of the Samoans was there in the crowd, and I think his mother too. And I want to say The Rock's mom was there.
Oh shit! Damn.
Yeah, they were on the other side of me because I got pretty good seats for that.
What do you think about the rumor going around that King of the Ring, Cyber Sunday, and Raw Roulette are potentially coming back this year to kind of help boost ratings?
King of the Ring I thought was awesome, and especially
Hell
the
yeah.
thing they're doing with Shinsuke and King Corbin.
The crown,
Shinsuke being
the crown shit.
Yeah, they're fighting for the crown, i.e., King of the Ring tournament, but whatever. Shinsuke being the king of strong style, I mean that's his thing. But putting him through a tournament and maybe eventually winning it would be awesome. But I think Corbin defending, so maybe like a King of the Ring tournament, and then the winner faces Corbin, since he's the reigning King of the Ring, or put him through the tournament. But if they put him through the tournament, chances are he will end up in the finals. So I'd rather see something a little different. But I love the King of the Ring. I think it should be a pay-per-view again. I think they should do them 4 matches on the pay-per-view, all that stuff.
The 4 matches on the pay-per-view I thought was always the cool move of King of the Ring. How the winner essentially had to fight twice or 3 times or whatever it was.
Well, Kurt Angle fought 3 times because he had that Shane
McMahon that's right. Match. Damn, I knew there was a reason why I had 3 times in my head.
It was 2001 because it was right before the invasion. And that was when Shane McMahon and Kurt got in a lot of trouble. But that match was phenomenal, and that just shows Angle being the monster that he was, wrestling 3 times, 3 good matches. Because then he had the finals against Edge, which was awesome. His feud with Edge was always great. And then he killed Shane McMahon. So.
He murdered Shane McMahon in that way. Yeah. So I agree with you. I'm definitely on board with the King of the Ring tournament. I always think it's fun. I always like following tournaments.
Absolutely.
And I agree with you. It should come back as a pay-per-view.
That's why I like I don't know if you don't follow New Japan so much, but the G1. Well, I mean, they're full of tournaments, but the G1 in general is just amazing. The juniors tournament's pretty good. And then the World Tag League's been better. But it's I mean, you do 2 tournaments a year, you're going to get some ratings because people want to see these new stars or the people they like, and that's just how you build them up. Like, oh shoot, well Buddy Murphy's not there, but let's say Buddy Murphy wins, the King of the Ring, and everyone's like, oh man, Buddy Murphy's going to get the push, but then they just never do anything with it. But I think King of the Ring's great. Cyber Sunday, it is what it is, but Raw Roulette would be interesting.
It's something. I'm down for whatever, shaking it up. And to kind of comment on the G1 stuff, I really want to, like, one of my, like, I don't even know what I want to call it, like my hidden desires, if you will, is I want to go all in on a G1 one year. Like, I want to watch every match. I want to pay attention to everything. That's like a bucket list. There you go. I guess I'd call it a bucket list. I just want to go all in for however many months it spans and however many matches it is. So that's like a weird goal. I need I guess maybe I need the pandemic to be over with a little bit and have some fans back in the arenas and doing that type of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to figure out when the next one is. I'll watch it with you, and we can do like every couple of days. We can come on and talk about it.
Boom. Let's do it.
I have the subscription, so I usually follow it. I don't get to watch it live because that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm in a different time zone, so maybe. But yeah, I usually try to watch 1 to 2 episodes, maybe a couple of days later, and then I definitely keep up because I think they do a break in between. But yeah, I mean, even if you skip through the first 3 matches, usually there's 4 matches per card. So I mean, you watch an hour and a half or so of good wrestling. So I mean, I'm down.
G1. I don't know when the G1 is, but I'm doing it for the next one.
I keep pushing everything. I want to say it's coming up because usually it's right before Wrestle Kingdom, maybe September, maybe October.
Wrestle Kingdom's like what, January or some shit?
Wrestle Kingdom's always January, because it's their WrestleMania.
Yeah. All right, cool. This year I'm going full in, and we'll talk all about it.
Talk about it.
We got WWE, just the rumor going around that they're gonna, with the introduction of live shows, that they're gonna be bringing in new stages. That's what they're gonna. That makes sense, right? They've had the Thunderdome for a while now, and so it's time to bring in new stages. Cody Rhodes and Jon Moxley both became fathers this last week. Brandy Rhodes and Renee Paquette. Is that how you pronounce it? Paquette?
Probably Paquette, yeah.
Paquette. Both gave birth this week. So happy Father's Day to you too, man. Happy Father's Day. Hell yeah, Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day,
bro.
everybody.
Appreciate it. I'm keeping my kids locked up right now while I record this podcast.
Yeah, so that means you're a pro.
They're in there on their iPads. Oh, now they're coming through the door. Hey, go shut the door, buddy. You just go. They're on their iPads. This is their iPad time. They're like, Daddy, you gonna go record a podcast?
Yeah, go do your nerd stuff. We want to play on our iPad.
Becky Lynch Seen at the Performance Center. What do you think about that?
I liked Becky. I fell off on the Becky train. It got a
What?
little ridiculous.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Before her
She went.
WrestleMania run, yeah,
I think Baszler should have went over at WrestleMania, and I don't
absolutely.
care who knows it. I feel like she was the absolute next step, especially because maybe she didn't know she was pregnant, but she had to have maybe known she was pregnant. Whatever. I feel like that was a wasted spot. The match was a little
Absolutely.
rough, so maybe she was pregnant and took it easy. But the whole cocky thing, it went from, and everyone compares everything to Stone Cold. It went from the Stone Cold to like a cocky
Yeah.
heel almost. Because then she should have just transitioned, and then it's like, okay, well, you're this arrogant champion or arrogant heel, and then someone like Asuka could have came up and dethroned her. But I think luckily for her, she left just in time where it got really bad. But prior to that, WrestleMania when she won, the stuff with Rollins was kind of cheesy, but she was still, one of the
Yeah.
best things to watch. And
Absolutely.
especially, she can bang in the ring for sure. But definitely coming back, I think she needs it. I'm tired of seeing, Charlotte shove down everyone's throats. I don't know where my girl Sasha's at. Obviously different shows, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
she's
think
sleeping somewhere.
yeah, it sucks. But I think it'd be
Does
great. I'd
suck.
love to see her and Bianca Belair go at it. That'd be
Ooh,
awesome.
god damn. Yeah,
Just
move Becky.
let them
Look,
yeah.
listen.
Let her do whatever she wants.
Let her do whatever she wants. So I was there. I was there for her Royal Rumble win. I was there in person, and I my my wife has a video. I'll ask her to send it to me, and I'll send it to you. She has a video of me. Um, she was recording me as I was standing up. Becky Lynch has come out now. She's talking to Fit Finley. And she's out there trying to convince Finley to let her into the Royal Rumble. And I'm screaming, just do it. Just do it. I am so hype on Becky Lynch. And of course, once they let her into the Rumble, everyone loses their mind. She's got a nice video of me losing my damn mind. But 100%, she was going down the douche train right as she was going out. It was definitely a douchey character. She showed up in the WrestleMania or whatever it was in a damn semi truck or whatever that was all decked out. And I think she was maybe supposed to lose because I can fantasy book and talk about how she should have lost and then realized that she was being too douchey and had a redemption arc. But obviously, she won for some reason. Vince McMahon didn't like Shayna Baszler, and then obviously got pregnant and got back. So she's a star. She'll definitely be at SummerSlam, and she'll have to tell me what it's like to be in front of the new man, if you will. But yeah, I'm
I
glad to
think
see her back.
her coming back. I think it's gonna be good when she comes back. Everyone's been waiting to see her. It's gonna be hot as long as they throw her in a good angle. Maybe even SmackDown because you have Bailey and I guess we'll go over the Hell in a Cell, but you got Bailey kind of with Belair again, and then you got Charlotte and Rhea, and I don't see that ending anytime soon. So yeah, she might slide over to SmackDown, and Bianca versus Becky at SummerSlam would be freaking awesome.
Ooh, dude,
Would be awesome.
I was thinking Rhea Ripley versus Becky, but then I also predicted Charlotte Flair to win
Eventually,
tonight.
yeah.
But I think you just got me hyped for Bianca versus
Well, it's
Becky
kind of
Lynch. That
like
sounds awesome.
it's definitely that old school, I guess, Attitude Era esque. So you got Becky, who's kind of like the brawler, and then Bianca, who's like the athlete. So there you go. You got
Yeah.
Austin versus Angle, or whatever, however you want to compare the two. But I
Austin
just think
versus Angle. Yeah.
the styles will clash because Bianca's a pure athlete. Becky's kind of got that brawler sense in there, but knows how to work. Oh man, I think it'd be great. That's something I would want to see.
Stop getting me hyped for SummerSlam just because you're going, man. So SmackDown this week drew 1.928 million viewers. It's up 4% last week. We'll talk more about SmackDown a little bit later. I just thought that was impressive to mention that the numbers are going up. Obviously, they had the Hell in a Cell match on there, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Edge and Bray Wyatt have been advertised for some of the September shows coming back. What do you think about Edge and The Fiend coming back?
So I thought it was weird how, I guess maybe it's the contract. I think it's weird how both of them have been off TV.
Yeah.
Especially with Bray and the whole Alexa thing. It's almost like he didn't even get a rebuttal. So are they going to go back to that? I didn't mind them together. I thought it added to both characters. Once again, Bray should have won at WrestleMania. But it is what it is. And then Edge too. Yeah, the triple threat match was great. He worked his ass off, but maybe because he's this legend now, maybe they only want to use him so much. I thought it was cool how he was on TV every week, but then they just kind of took him off. I thought, he could do other things with other people. Not necessarily in the title picture, but just, if he's going to be that tweener kind of, give
Yeah.
Big E the push. Who else? Cesaro, Edge and Cesaro would have been pretty cool.
Hell yeah. There's some
Even
dream matches.
Rollins, like Edge and Rollins, because obviously, he'll just kind of fit in where he needs to fit in. But yeah, just stuff like that. But I'm glad they're coming back. I was always an Edge fan. I definitely liked the Fiend character a little
Me
bit better
too.
than the Bray Wyatt character, but I like all the weird stuff. But yeah, man, I'm hopefully SummerSlam. I would love
Bro,
to see Edge. I would love to see Edge at SummerSlam.
yeah, I saw Edge at WrestleMania and it was goddamn awesome. It
Yeah.
was he got a huge pop too. So it's really sucks that they've taken him off. I mean, I don't think they've taken him off TV. He did his WrestleMania thing and then said, okay, I'm not doing any more Thunderdome shows. Let me know when fans come back. So
I think so
I'm
too.
super stoked for. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying maybe same thing with the rumor about Cena coming back for the live crowd. I mean, maybe they just plan on stacking these live shows. Like, oh, Edge is going to be here, the Fiend's going to be here, John Cena is going to be here, and everyone's like, oh shoot, let's go see them.
Hell yeah!
So yeah, I think you're probably actually right.
We got AEW announced that they're going to come into WWE's territory this week with their first ever show in New York at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. That's where they do the tennis. What do they call it? The Cup? Or what do they call it? What's the tennis one?
The Open, the U.S. Open.
U.S. Open. There it is. U.S. Open. Apparently, that's where they do the U.S. Open. 23. I don't know shit about tennis, guys. 23,000 people can fit in there. I think AEW. We'll talk a little bit about Dynamite here shortly. AEW is definitely like in a weird like slump right now. While they're like they had AEW, they had Double or Nothing, and now they announced, hey, we're coming back on the road, and now they're in that lull in between that. And their shows have been kind of wonky. Also with like I think basketball has been taken over, the playoffs have been taken over TNT, so they've been bumped to Fridays. Next week is a Saturday show. But I'm definitely hype about them going back on the road, and I think they're just saving all their good stuff for that. Ooh, what else we got? I lost my place. Oh, there we go. Oh, just a shout out. Walter hit 900 days as the NXT UK champion. Now, I don't think they're going to have an asterisk in there where he wasn't allowed to wrestle for 8 months because of the pandemic, but who gives a shit? Walter is badass, and Walter needs to come on main roster ASAP and just chop the shit out of everyone he sees.
So what was it? Survivor Series. Remember the NXT Survivor Series?
Boo.
So
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, before
they eliminated him first, right? He got eliminated first.
There you go. Yes, your boo was appropriate. So whenever Survivor Series was last year, they put that match on the WWE YouTube, and I was like, oh yeah, let me watch this. I was so hyped for it, and then I remember Walter was getting cheered like out of this world, and they freaking jobbed him out. And hopefully, he still has the same amount of traction. I feel like he might not, but yeah, it's great. He's a 900-day champion, but man, I think Ciampa probably should have taken it off him because it would have been interesting to see.
Hot take.
But I want to see Walter, like you said, on the main roster, but I don't want them to screw it up. He was so over that night, so over, and it's just man, it's very irritating.
900-day champion. He was eliminated first in like less than 2 minutes. Yeah, it was trash.
And he was one of the most over. Absolutely. You can literally turn him into a Goldberg or a Braun Strowman back in the day, or whoever you want to compare him to, and just let him just run through everybody. He doesn't even need to be champion. Just let him whoop everybody.
Did you say you got a chance to watch NXT this week, or did you need to get a chance to watch the whole episode?
I saw some clips of NXT, and then I did see the LA Knight stuff. I did see the Samoa Joe stuff.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. I just want to make a comment because they apparently NXT has been given direction to start trimming down on entrances. So one of the things I noticed this week during NXT was entrances were cut or they were already in the ring. It was really weird. They call it the jobber's entrance. It's whenever you're already in the ring coming back from commercial break or something.
Was it no music, no victory?
No music, no victory. And but this week Fandango, they had the jobber's entrance and they won the match. And it happened a couple different times during the show where they just got these short, goofy entrances. Well, rumors coming out from Dave Meltzer saying that NXT is trimming down on their entrances because Shawn Michaels has said It gives viewers more time to check out Dynamite.
Dynamite's on a different night.
Listen, I'm not here to talk about reality. I'm just here to talk about what these dudes say. So apparently, I mean, yeah, they're on a completely different night. So that's why this week was all goofy. And this isn't on our show notes, but also Vince McMahon has apparently made this rule. I don't know if you heard about this rule where matches aren't allowed to happen unless they have a reason now. Have you heard about this? Have
I
you
know
heard about this rule?
you're not supposed to Twitter, you're not supposed to talk about it in the Twitter world.
No, what I mean is a match has to be purposeful. It can't be just a random match. So that's why this week on Raw, I think it was this week on Raw, Matt Hardy made his match, or excuse me, Jeff Hardy made his match a retirement match.
Oh yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
So that's why he made it a retirement match, because the match had to be for something, had to be worth something. And one of the dumbest things I've ever heard, because because I know how WWE does shit. They just make it weird. So WWE says people are switching to TNT for entrances. We got to just cut all the entrances and make it weird as hell. Or because Vince McMahon says matches can't happen for no reason or whatever. So Jeff Hardy says, I'm going to retire if I lose this match. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, I thought that was super random, and no one knew he was going to lose or retire even, but I think they're just trying to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, to be honest.
Well, a perfect segue into the next topic, because the networks are getting involved with the WWE product. Both USA and Fox have both talked to WWE and said, listen, y'all got to get your shit together. That's where the conversation came up with about Raw Roulette and all that stuff. But one of the hot items that came out of this weekend was USA, which has Raw and NXT, obviously, was pissed that they gave Hell in a Cell match to Fox and SmackDown. Apparently, they were fuming about that. And what'd you think about the Hell in a Cell match being moved like totally to a SmackDown? Like what I would have considered the main event of Hell in a Cell being moved to SmackDown.
It's cool if it was 3-4 months down the line, and maybe it was more of a feud that made sense. So somebody Roman's been feuding with, and it's just like, screw it, let's just do it on SmackDown. Sometimes I have that 6 weeks in between, like a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania, instead of a pay-per-view every like 3 weeks. But the fact that you're one of the newer, for the last couple of years, your headlining pay-per-view is called Hell in a Cell. You only have one official Hell in a Cell match on it, and you pull it off. And Roman's one of your top guys.
Yeah,
is your top guy. Why do you even need to watch it?
Why do you even need to watch it?
What is the selling point now? You only have one title on there.
That was the hypest match.
Women's. Yeah.
That was the match I was genuinely like, okay, I can't wait to see it, even though I know Roman's going to win, but I was super hyped to see it. Y'all can listen to my Hell in a Cell preview show where I kind of give my thoughts about Hell in a Cell, and we'll get Eric's Hell in a Cell predictions here soon. But I enjoyed it on SmackDown. It was a good match. I had fun with it. But other than popping a rating or something like that, I felt like it was a pretty weird move.
I feel it was weird too that they had Ray and Roman still open the show. So instead of like hyping it like a big deal, where like a pay-per-view, you don't really hear maybe a backstage segment, which is fine. But then they went into the ring, kind of talked about it. So they still made it feel like a regular, not really an important match. Rather than you get, the big fight feel for it or whatever it was. So I even think they kind of did that wrong, because you have a 2-hour show. I don't know how long that Cell match went, but it's like you could have based your whole entire show around that just to promote the show on Sunday. But I don't know. The whole booking was just weird. It was a great match. It was fun, but
it was wild as hell when he powerbombed him into the side of the cage.
Yes. I can't believe he's not dead. Whereas Dominic got to take the smooth bump off camera, and Ray just took it all.
Sorry, Ray, you're going straight into this. All right, one more piece of news here. I didn't have it on your notes, but Don Callis was fired this week in kayfabe, of course, from Impact Wrestling.
I do keep up a little bit.
EVP. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Impact is not a good show. I was just talking about one of my wrestling buddies. We were talking about I try to watch Impact, but it's really hard to. Even watching their most recent pay-per-view, it was kind of hard to watch, but obviously Don Callis has been critical in the AEW storylines and the Kenny Omega stuff. So yeah, fun fact, he was fired from Impact Wrestling this week.
Well, Tony Khan said basically he's going to keep Don Callis around as long as Kenny wants him around.
Hell yeah.
So
It's a good business move. I think their chemistry together, Don Callis and Kenny Omega, is phenomenal. And I think do whatever they need to do whatever they want.
It sucks for Impact because, man, Impact could have so much potential. The empty arenas with the fake sound is getting old. And I don't know. I thought they had Matt Stryker as a commentary, which I enjoy from Lucha Underground. Josh Matthews is just not good.
They did have
I don't know if he's back. It sounds like he's back. I could be wrong, but he's just not good. He's not good at all. And it makes it worse. There's no excitement. It's like fake excitement.
It's
and
very
it's just
fake,
not selling. When Satoshi Kojima from New Japan, he came out for his debut, the Forbidden Door, that whole thing. No real excitement behind it. ELP, El Phantasmo, love the dude. When he came out, dude, his match was killer. Commentary was flat. I was like, come on. So I watch Impact for certain stars and stuff, and their knockouts division is pretty good. But it's just like, man, where is the hype? You have no fans, and your commentating is flat. That's my biggest takeaway from Impact. Besides, the storylines aren't terrible, but the commentary falls flat.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even pay attention that Matt Stryker wasn't on commentary. I just wasn't paying attention.
He hasn't been for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so. Because when they put him out there, I was like, okay, Stryker can, he can sell it a little bit better. But Josh Matthews is just terrible.
He's a dork. It's worse than his name just blacked out from WWE. The main commentator from SmackDown. His name just fell out of my head. It's
Michael Cole?
Yeah, Michael Cole. Thank you. Because Michael Cole.
Michael Cole like everybody does.
So I don't hate Michael Cole. He's just a company. He's a company man, so he says silly shit like, he says silly shit like, all right, changing gears, everybody. It was just really weird. But Josh Matthews is a fucking dork. Absolutely.
I think that's one of Impact's biggest problems. No fans and their commentary team.
I like it. Yeah, no, you're absolutely spot on with that. All right, well, that wraps up the news, and we're going to try to burn through wrestling this week. We had a lot happen this week, obviously. We've got another pay-per-view happening in like an hour or something like that. I got to get ready I got to go pick up my Walmart order after this. The NXT In Your House. Did you watch In Your House?
Yeah, so I was able to watch the first couple matches, and then I went back and had to watch the main event.
So I'll give you my thoughts, and then you feel free to jump in. I thought the opening 6-man tag was awesome, and the ladder match was fun. The main event was crazy. I've heard a lot of reports about the main event was crazy, but if you go back and watch it, it was crazy and awesome because of everybody else but Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross was basically, they were there to make Karrion Kross look good. I could see how people could feel about that. I still think Karrion Kross is a badass. But damn, that crowd was boring as hell. It was like
not an NXT crowd.
How the hell are you going to have those people in the building? And then I legit saw somebody on their phone in the background. I'm like, how is this happening right now? She's over there texting or some shit. And I'm like, so if you go back and look at my Instagram, I gave the show a 3.5 out of 5. No real changes in the NXT landscape. Nothing really crazy happened. Boring ass crowd and just a boring vibe for the most part, but I did enjoy some moments of some of the matches and had a lot of fun with it. What'd you think?
So the opening 6-man I think was probably one of the better matches. It was a cool concept. I did feel like because I watched your prediction video. I agreed with you. I think Reed was going to win, but part of me was like, man, maybe Legado del Fantasma should win because they're an actual stable. That would be pretty cool. Maybe not yet. But I think if they would have waited for this match, let's say do a tag team separate match and a North American title separate match, and then do the 6-man and have that team take it, I think that would have been a lot cooler because it was just unique to see it that way. So I think a title change would have been even better. But it is what it is. And then the ladder match, Eli Drake, LA Knight, I don't give a crap. I was a huge fan of his 5-6 years ago, and I'm still a big fan. Cameron Grimes, I didn't care for him. His character is entertaining. I'll give him that. So I think LA Knight going over was probably the better move now. So hopefully they can actually do something with him. And
Agreed.
then the 5-man, I mean, yeah, you had 5 heavy hitters. I don't think Cross was as bad as everyone said. I like the dude. Yeah, everyone there, yeah, it's the way they booked the match was everybody took out Cross.
Yeah.
So he didn't have, and maybe it was designed that way to keep him looking strong or however it was, or because, yeah, I mean, you even saw Cole and O'Reilly work together, powerbomb through the table. Like everyone kept taking him out and then they would do their own thing, which, like I said, it could have been designed that way. And then, he sneaks out with the victory. But I still thought, Cross he did belong there. Everything in between, the women's matches I thought fell a little flat. They could have been better. And then I think that was about it. But yeah, I mean, it was a good show. I like the throwbacks for NXT. I love the in your house. I like the fact they did Halloween Havoc. I like the fact they're doing a Great American Bash.
Yeah,
so hopefully maybe they can. I do like those theme pay-per-views, especially with But then the crowd, it's like I don't know if they let people in there, if they're just friends and family.
I think that was friends and family, bro. I think that's what we saw.
But yeah, for an in your house, that crowd should have been hot.
I mean,
it wasn't a bad card. It could have been, yeah. So I think like your 3 matches right there should have been like sellers.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Even with Karrion Kross at the end, just sitting there like holding his belt and everyone just staring at him. It was boring.
Yeah, just boo him. You're supposed to boo him. It's fine.
Boo. Yeah, it's fine. You guys can boo. You guys are sitting there on your phones. Switching gears, as Michael Cole would say. Just kidding. Eva Marie re-debuted, if you will, on Monday Night Raw this week with a Piper Niven, who I know Piper from NXT UK, and the announcers no-sold the shit out of it as if they didn't even acknowledge the fact that she has already been in the company for several years and has put on some bangers down in NXT UK. So I say that, and the other thing is that the rumor. Have you heard what her name is going to be? Have you seen the dirt sheets for what her name is going to be? Dewdrop. DOU drop. Dewdrop.
Why?
Yeah, because Raw. That's why. She's got a name and a reputation in that company already, and they're gonna go with Dewdrop. But also, whatever happened with Alexa Bliss possessing Reginald? I don't know what happened. If you saw that clip or whatever, that weirdness.
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw is such a fucking weird show.
What are they gonna do when the fans come back?
Fans are gonna boo the shit out of it, bro.
The whole dynamic needs to change. You can't do all this campy stuff because people are gonna be there. No camera tricks, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're gonna roast it. They're gonna roast it.
Yeah. And I hate to shit on products for whatever reason, but it's 3 hours and it's long 3 hours. And once upon a time before I moved, I had a couple weeks off. The only show I was able to watch was Raw, and I'm sitting there. I was like, fuck. Like,
yeah,
it could have been any, for some reason. That's just always Monday nights. I was able to sit down and watch TV, and it just happened to obviously be Raw, and I was so irritated. I was like, dude, this is long.
The absolute worst. I don't watch Raw. I talk about it every show. I'll watch Raw. I think whenever the fans come back, I'll give Raw a chance again. I'll watch Raw.
Right.
But right now, until they figure it out, I can't watch it anymore. I can't do it. Going to NXT, some big things happened in NXT this week. Samoa Joe returned. There was heavy rumors going into NXT that after Regal's announcement on Sunday night about things needing a change, people were seeing the dirt sheets came out. Samoa Joe was in the Performance Center in the CWC, and then of course he popped out this week, turning down the offer to be a GM, but saying he'll be in an enforcer role. What'd you think of that?
I like the enforcer role. I didn't like the fact that the second segment, whatever it was, the first one that he was in, beside a second one after the Cross one, he chokes out Adam Cole.
The face of that goddamn company, he chokes him out like he's a bitch.
Like nothing, because he just put his hands on him. So one, it's if the whole provoking thing, it's fine. So but the fact that he said, hey, you're not going to be a wrestler. So maybe they'll build up to it where he gets rid of his role and eventually wrestles. Fine. But the fact that we all know now he's not going to be wrestling, at least for a little bit, hopefully. And then all of a sudden he's Samoa Joe. He's this badass. No offense, bro. You haven't wrestled in over a year. You've been commentating. Why are you still this badass? You're 30 pounds overweight from when you were overweight before, and now you're choking out the face of the company, the one
Yeah.
who literally held the company. Come on, choke out someone who doesn't matter
Yeah, he
to
should have
settle your,
choked out
your
Kyle
dominance.
O'Reilly. He should have choked out Kyle O'Reilly
Cool, Kyle.
and Kyle, and he should have
Yeah.
choked out Kyle O'Reilly, hands down. And I think that's a really funny thing you point out because Samoa Joe was just standing at WrestleMania with a fucking poncho on, trying to do commentary, just a few months ago. Yeah, he shows back up to NXT as if he's always been this badass.
Yeah, and I mean, I get the whole, I don't know. No, it wasn't you. I talked to somebody else. He has that Taz vibe, especially now doing the commentary and everything like that. The whole Joe is going to kill you. Where did that start from? But it's just, a build up to it or something like Cross backing down makes sense because he's an authoritative figure. So he's like, why are you still in the ring? That makes sense. It's a smart move on the champion. But then the fact that, he got hands and choked out Adam Cole, I thought that was just bullshit. Yeah. It was a terrible move. It just makes, and then speaking of which, didn't Regal say, now you guys are going to fight an unsanctioned match? Didn't they already fight in an unsanctioned match? Or did I mishear that?
I don't know. Is it
Regal
unsanctioned?
booked them in a match. I could have swore he said unsanctioned.
Hey, I saw the matches booked for Great American Bash, Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole. Is that the one you're talking about?
That's the one I'm talking about.
I don't remember if I heard unsanctioned though, but I'll fact check.
I thought I did. Maybe they just blew it over. Maybe he said the wrong thing. But I could have swore that's what he said.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Like, they already did that.
They did that. It was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And also NXT this week, LA Knight turns on the $1 Million Man, and $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase took a nice flat back bump too. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you saw that. He hit the ground pretty hard. You already talked about LA Knight, and I agree that even though I predicted Cameron Grimes winning the match, I do agree that LA Knight is 10 times better with that belt and that gimmick. Especially, obviously, they want to turn Cameron Grimes face too because he had a nice little pop when he came out to kind of
a lot of people liked him.
Hold back the $1 Million Man or help the $1 Million Man out. But did you get a chance to watch the main event at all? The Grizzled Young Veterans versus Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher.
I did not. That's the
Go
one.
Go back and watch it. They beat the shit out of each other. It's a good match. It's a really good match.
That's literally was going through my mind. I was like, oh shoot, I do need to go watch that.
That's all I wrote down was hard-hitting main event, and it's a good match. It's fun. Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa took the W on that. I'm a big fan of the Grizzled Young Veterans, but I thought that was the right move.
Man, T Thatch and Ciampa, that was probably one of the. I think they're better than Gargano and Ciampa because the way they're just brutal dudes, and their matches they had against each other were awesome.
Oh, the fight pit matches were awesome.
Oh yeah, both of them were. The one you went with Riddle. But yeah, I like Ciampa. I've always have, and then definitely Thatcher is just a freaking, just him. He's just a badass.
He's just him.
I love it. Yeah.
Real quick, I just wanted to mention NWO. I have been watching NWA Power. It's definitely one of the lesser products out there, but I think it's fun to watch. And I just want to give no, hell no, I don't.
Oh.
No, I found out that you do have to pay for it because I started watching NWA Power when I was deployed because free time is free time, and it was on YouTube and it was awesome.
Yeah,
and it was great.
Awesome.
And then they moved it to Fight, and you have to pay like $4.99 a month for it. And sorry, NWA, you got to put out a little better of a product than that, man.
I agree.
So I watch it through other means, but I did watch it, and they're currently running the tournament because they have a vacant. I think it's a vacant national champion. They're just running a tournament, so it's fun. It's fine. Nothing.
So Aaron Stevens isn't the champ anymore.
No, he's not the champ. I feel bad for Aaron Stevens too because he had this nice run with the question mark. I don't know if you ever saw that, the question mark stuff, and then obviously the question mark passed away during the pandemic, which I think is pretty cool because you know how in Power they have all the flags hanging up in their little studio. Well, they hung up whatever that country the question mark is from.
Mongovia or something.
Yeah, Mongovia. There it is. Some shit like that. They have his flag hanging up with the other flags too. And I thought that was a nice little tribute. But NWA is doing some fun stuff. Awesome. It's fine. It's fine.
When it was on, like, I totally agree with you. When it was on YouTube, I watched it. Maybe not every Tuesday, but I did pick it up, during the week.
Yeah.
I really like Nick Aldis. I loved him as champion. I ordered the
he's
NWA.
the best champion out there, Nick Aldis.
I agree. It sucks that I'm worried when he's going to lose it and who he's going to lose it to, because it has been a little while. He's probably a longer running champion than Walter.
Oh yeah.
But I did order like NWA 70. I thought his matches with Cody were amazing. I wanted to see a Cody Aldis 3. Once again, I don't think Cody should have lost the second match, but whatever. His match with Marty Scurll, oh shoot. And no matter how many people give Marty shit for whatever his personal life is, I don't care about that. His match with Marty Scurll, I wish would have happened. Marty, I was 100% guaranteed he was going to take the belt. Then same thing, they could have feuded down the line because his matches were great. But Aldis is the man, and I'm a little upset that I can't really watch it. So I try to keep up with it. But him and Camille now champions since she's leading the women's division. His strictly business gimmick, all that stuff is just awesome.
The strict I think he's like
he's
a
just
classic.
Great.
He's a classic like world's champion. Like he walks the walk, he talks the talk. But it's funny that you thought that Marty Scurll would have beat him because
I think so.
That's a hot take, and I appreciate that take. I just listened to an interview he did, and I think it was with What Culture Wrestling. He did a interview, and he wasn't talking shit about AEW, but he was definitely just he's one of those guys who's talking shit about the flippy dippy wrestlers. He was just talking shit about that. And that's really AEW's got a lot of that going on. He was talking about AEW, and it kind of frustrates me because I would love to see a Nick Aldis versus Kenny Omega belt for belt match.
Oh man,
bro, I would lose my goddamn mind. Hey, dude, I would fly to wherever it is and I would be there. I don't think they would do the NWA champion or the world's heavyweight champion from NWA. I don't think they would do it dirty like that, air quote, as making it part of a belt collector gimmick. But damn it, the match would be fun to watch.
Oh yeah. Even if I think they could set that up. Or even when he was in ROH for a little while, going back and forth. I got to see him live in ROH, which was awesome. When he was feuding with Marty, and I think he fought PJ Black, the WWE guy, Justin Gabriel. I think it's PJ Black.
Oh, yeah.
So that was great. And then I mean, if he was in AEW, let him do the third match with Cody, and then go challenge Kenny just for a one-off or whatever it is. Man, that'd be great. I agree. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
NXT UK, I'm not even going to talk about it because not that much happened this week. They had a pretty big. Yeah, I like to keep up with it. Like when I've talked about in the podcast before, I went to NXT Takeover Blackpool when I was in Germany.
Nice.
Flew out to Blackpool, and that was one of the best goddamn shows I've ever been at. The crowd was hype, the matches were hype. It was awesome. But yeah, in order to truly appreciate it, you kind of have to suffer through the NXT UK TV product, so you can really truly understand the story and the psychology. Their takeovers are great. Their weekly product, not so much. Even though I think they've had like a couple 5-star rated matches during the pandemic era. But still, it's the same thing. They have fake noise. There's no fans, fake noise, and it's just weird. And then finally, just rolling into SmackDown, Shinsuke wins Baron Corbin's crown. And, of course, we had the Hell in a Cell match that we talked about. SmackDown is such a cleaner – I don't know why. It's just like a nicer presentation of a show. And I enjoyed this week's actually a lot. Obviously, we had Bianca Belair challenging Bayley to change their match to a Hell in a Cell match, which I'm assuming was to replace the Universal Championship match moving over, which is fine. What did you think of SmackDown?
So I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, it seems to always be the wrestling show. And obviously, the stuff with Roman, a lot of people, say he's always opening the show, doing their promos, which I get, switch it up once in a while. But the stuff with him and the Usos are just, to me, I love it. And then, getting Ray involved, which is good. I mean, Ray can still work. He's still a big name, still a big draw. I love Bianca, her, and then, Bayley and her new character. The stuff with Rollins and Cesaro is still good. But yeah, I think it just, like you said, it goes a lot smoother. I think that would be the best way to say it. It just feels like with the 2 hours pretty much fly by. You get all this stuff out of there, and then, you go home happy usually.
Hell yeah. What I love about the Roman Reigns stuff with the Usos and Rey Mysterio is that it felt natural. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel that the Rey Mysterio versus Roman Reigns was being forced down my throat. I felt that it happened naturally within the elements of the world they live in, and everything Roman Reigns is doing right now is the best thing in WWE. So do whatever they need to do to keep that dude happy and keep pumping out that product. because it's great. It's great. I've heard a lot of rumors that they're going to let him keep the belt for 2 years
I
and
don't see him
just
losing it. I was talking to a buddy of mine. I guess he has the dude I met the other day. I guess he has a couple inside scoops because he sent me the Samoa Joe thing before it was official. But I was like, yeah, I
oh
heard about
yeah.
the dirt sheets. So we'll see what he knows. But yeah, he's claiming Cena versus Roman and then
Yeah.
Rock at Mania. But he thinks The Rock's going to take it. But I was like, I don't know. I don't
What?
see Roman.
No way.
And that's kind of how I feel. And I don't see Roman losing it. And the question is, who would he lose it to?
Yeah, there's
Hopefully, somebody new and up and coming, a
yeah.
Royal Rumble winner, maybe Money in the Bank because you could do a cheap win. But I just don't see him losing it.
Nope.
It's tough. It's really tough.
He's way too good, and there's not anybody on that roster right now that's even remotely close to his level that it would feel
Yeah.
believable.
I think remember when Drew won the Royal Rumble? I think he was the last one to win it. I can't remember who won it last
Before
year.
Edge. It was Edge, and then
Edge,
yeah,
right.
Drew
When Drew
McIntyre.
won it, if Drew wasn't doing what he was doing and he won the Rumble and then went and faced Roman, that would make sense to me.
Oh yeah,
because
I can see that. Yeah,
it was a great win. It was a great Rumble, and then you're like, oh shit, finally Drew. This guy, this young up and comer, big dude, great talented. I think that situation he could go and beat Roman. But right now, I don't see anyone even in line in that stuff. So the best thing would be maybe a good surprise Rumble win from somebody that they want, somebody that people want, and then going and beating Roman. That'd be the only way I could see it, but I don't see them not doing the Rock match if they're able to. So I don't know.
Keith
I
Lee.
don't know who would be.
Keith
Maybe.
Lee. Switching gears. So AEW, we're briefly. I didn't watch all of AEW, but I did watch that trash MMA cage fight. Hurricanrana, I can never pronounce that word, in the middle of a cage fight. Here's what I didn't like about it before I turn over to you, because I know you watched AEW. Here's what I didn't like about it was that, so in wrestling, we know the punches are fake, right? We know they're not actually swinging their fists as hard as they can and punching these people in their face. We can tell how they sell it. Even though they're selling it good, they're not unconscious. So we know that the punches are not real, right? That looks great in a professional wrestling environment, but damn, those are some weak, weird looking punches that we're trying to do. And Hager is a damn undefeated MMA star, and I watched him take a kick to the leg and like he sold it. Like, I'm like, no, bro, okay, this is ridiculous. All right, this is getting out of control. Obviously, Hager won because it would be stupid as shit if he didn't win.
Right.
But since you watched AEW, what's your thoughts on the cage match and on the show altogether?
So I totally agree with you. That's exactly what I thought. And Wardlow is a big dude.
Yeah.
He's a great athlete. They made him look like a chump. His Superman punch, he missed. And then they showed the replay, show a different angle. And so my first thought, and this is me being naive, I was like, okay, Hager's an actual badass fighter.
Yeah.
Maybe Wardlow is too. Let him bang. Fuck it. Let him just go at it. And then when I'm like watching, I was like, okay, maybe. And then I'm like, oh, it's fake. So
it's fake. They're faking it, guys.
And it was, but like, so the wrestling stuff, I actually liked. I liked the Hurricanrana,
All right.
only because it makes sense.
Yeah.
If Hager did it, no, because Hager's supposed to be an MMA fighter.
Yeah, I got
it was under MMA rules. Technically, there's no rule saying you couldn't do a Hurricanrana.
You're
but
right.
Wardlow, what I wanted to see was Warlow go to the top of the cage and do a swanton, just because he's a wrestler. He is a wrestler.
Yep,
so
you're right.
And they sold it right. So I think the match was played out right. Hager was doing the kicks to the body, and even Warlow was selling like, oh man, and like walking away because he's not used to that. So okay, that part was cool. So he went into the wrestling background. So, but I also feel like they made Wardlow punching like a girl, and they made Hager kind of look bad because Wardlow was jacking him up until he caught him in a choke.
Yeah, he was winning. He had the upper hand there for
Warlow
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And then Hager pretty much comes back with nothing and I guess he was going to try to like F5 him or whatever the move he does. And then Hager got him in a choke, and that's how he won. So you barely won, but you're an undefeated fighter. That part I didn't like.
is a little wonky, but we're in the twilight stages of AEW here. It's
They were trying. They were trying.
they're saving the best for later on.
I
Anything else you
guess,
got on
man.
AEW?
Arn Anderson's son needs new gear. It looked terrible. I don't know what he's doing with his giant diaper.
So I
Other
heard
than
I
that,
heard so I haven't seen it, and I haven't seen a picture of him at all. But
he
I
looks
heard
just like his dad.
I heard
Just
someone
like his
refer to
dad.
him as an accountant. I don't know who it
Yes.
was. I think maybe I was listening to the Matman podcast, and they said he looks like an accountant out there wrestling.
He looks identical to his dad, except skinny. It did not look intimidating, didn't look, but same demeanor, same everything, almost identical. Needs new ring gear for sure. They showed a glimpse of Cody after, because his I don't know, Anderson, something Brock. Oh, like Brock Anderson.
Yeah.
They showed a glimpse of Cody, so they might be like trying to turn him heel or something because he got the victory, Cody didn't. But then the other takeaway from it was, the stuff with the Elite is just gold. I think
yeah.
the Good Brothers are fantastic. Matt and Nick, yeah, they're a little over the top, but they're doing it all on purpose.
They're
If you
heels,
watch
man.
any of the Being the Elite stuff, I mean, they're playing it up, which is great. But I think the stuff with Kingston and Pac and I love Penta. Penta's one of my favorite wrestlers.
Hell yeah.
Getting them involved. I mean, these are all really good wrestlers. Moxley, really good wrestlers, really good characters, and you're putting them in the main event. Regardless of the dynamic, I mean, they're still being showcased to, take on the Elite and Kenny and all this other stuff. So I thought that was probably, the best thing of the show. Kenny, tried to provoke Jungle Boy, got beat up and ran away. He's playing up that heel character really well, as opposed to Roman, who they're not going to make ever look bad, is the rumor I heard. But I think,
Never.
it's two different dynamics. It's the same thing, just different.
Yeah.
But I
I
thought,
got you.
the main event was good. And then there's a couple, highlights in between. Christian Cage and Matt Hardy. I think it's cool reliving that stuff. But they're not a terrible show. It's just kind of ups and downs, like everything.
So we got to wrap this up. I got to go pick up my groceries, and we got Hell in a Cell coming up real fast. Real quick before I hear your predictions on Hell in a Cell, do you ever watch The Dark Side of the Ring? Have you watched any of those?
Yes.
Did you watch the one with Dynamite Kid?
I watched the first event. I didn't watch that one yet because I got to find it on YouTube.
So I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link. I got a place. I just watched the Dynamite Kid one, and holy shit! All right. So first off, Dynamite Kid was long before my time. I didn't get into wrestling until the Attitude Era. I was a big NWO mark, but Dynamite Kid, obviously super talented, brought a lot to the ring. But man, the shit that was going on in his personal life, holy hell, man! I mean, it's not. We have like the Chris Benoit being like the extreme example of CTE and roid rage or whatever you want to call it. But then you have like these situations like the Dynamite Kid, and just some wild shit going on in that dude's personal life. But great episode.
They always compared Benoit to Dynamite Kid. I can't remember.
They
if
looked
there
a lot
was
alike.
reason.
Yeah,
they
looked
maybe
alike.
Styles.
They were short, and they just both were just fucking ripped. And
because Dynamite Kid was British Bulldogs, right? Him and Davey Boy. Okay. Yep. Yeah, he was always jacked. Yeah, I never got to see him actually wrestle, but just clips and stuff. But their Dark Side of the Ring is killing it. I watched the first 2 seasons. I did watch the first episode of the Brian Pillman, and then same thing. I just got to catch it on YouTube. But like the New Jack one was crazy, even though he just passed. The Benoit
New Jack one was out of control, bro. Like I actually got visibly uncomfortable and had to like look away whenever he was like stabbed. Well, no, not the when he stabbed the guy, but the one where he cut the. He stabbed him, but the one where he cut the fat guy's fucking head open. I was like, oh my god, how was this guy not locked up for the rest of his fucking life?
It's crazy. I know a lot of people were very upset that he passed, but the dude was a dick. Point blank. He was a dick. Really but if you listen to him talk, if you didn't piss him off or disrespect him, he was fine.
That's
and
true.
I can,
That's true.
There's a line that I won't cross. Obviously he will. I can respect that because homeboy, changed or they want to do something different. And New Jack's like, nah, fuck you. But he was a dick. But I always liked him. I always liked him as a wrestler. But man, that one was nuts.
He slit that dude's head open. All right, let's get your Hell in a Cell predictions. I'm gonna pull up the card for Hell in a Cell, and I want to hear your predictions. Let me go to my Instagram page at From the Top Rope Podcast. All right, so let's just run through this real quick. I just want to just get your opinion on the winners. Seth Rollins and Cesaro. Who do you think is going to win?
I'm gonna go with Seth.
All right, Seth it
I
is.
think he needs his win back.
Agreed. I picked the same person. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I want to say Kevin, but I think no, I'm gonna go with Kevin.
Kevin. All right, I
think
picked Sami.
Sammy's gonna be that over jobber. He's gonna be the guy who's over, but he loses.
He's in my money in the bank consideration too. That's for another podcast.
No, I don't think so at all.
Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler.
Alexa Bliss.
Ugh, gross.
There's just no way.
Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship.
I'm gonna go with Rhea.
All right, Rhea it is. That is the only one.
I'm gonna go with Rhea.
That's the only one on the card I think that could legit. I can see it going either way. I picked Charlotte Flair to take the championship. Bianca Belair or Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship inside Hell in a Cell. You said Belair?
Belair, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, same. I don't think it's her time yet. I think they need to do her better, but I don't think it's her time. And of course, main event of the night, well, I'm assuming Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell for the WWE Championship.
See, this one's tough for me too, because what is it? Drew can't challenge anymore.
Yep.
If
he loses, he can't challenge for the belt as long as Bobby Lashley is champion.
I'm gonna go with Bobby. I think they're riding the Bobby train. Maybe they're trying to set up that Brock Lesnar match, which to me would be awesome. I would love to see it. I don't care if it's
they're
6
dumb
minutes.
If they don't do it.
Exactly. I want to see that. I don't care how much you pay Brock. I don't care if he goes in there and gets squashed. I don't care if it's a squash. I just want – actually, I do. I want to see at least 3 minutes of these dudes just beating the hell out of each other, at least. I'm going to go with Bobby. I think somehow they're going to get maybe Drew to do it at SummerSlam, or maybe I don't know who would be next. Either way. But it's WWE. They can change their minds on whatever they want. I'm going to go with Bobby.
Perfect. Bobby it is. I agree. I said Bobby retains as well.
Yeah.
Real quick, what was your what do you think your match of the week was?
The MMA fight. No. Probably, I mean, you got to go with Hell in a Cell.
There you go. That's a good one. Hell in a Cell.
You got to go with Hell in a Cell, or I'll go with the for my personal, if you're going to I guess Sunday would count. I would go with that six-man opener from In Your House.
Perfect.
That one in Hell in a Cell, I figured those are two I'd go back and watch.
Yeah. I'll say I really enjoyed the Tommaso Ciampa, Timothy Thatcher, and Grizzled Young Veteran match on NXT this week. It was fantastic. What was your trash moment of the week?
Alexa Bliss possession.
All right, so I'll let you take the Alexa Bliss possession because that was god awful. I'll take the MMA fight, the MMA cage fight. That was one of the worst things.
My second or so. Or I'd even go with Arn Anderson's son debuting.
You talking about the tax collector, the accountant or whatever?
Yeah, the accountant starring Ben Affleck.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we talked a long time about wrestling on this podcast. Thank you so much, Eric, for coming out. Don't forget, you can follow me on Instagram at I Hate Gerge Brooms. You can follow this podcast at From the Top Rope Podcast on Instagram. You can also follow us on TikTok. I'm posting a lot of stuff there at From the Top Rope. Don't forget, you can look us up on YouTube as well, Gerge Brooms or From the Top Rope. We're also I'm also the general manager of Combat Sports Pro. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Combat Sports Pro Wrestling. Our next event coming up is Tropic Combat this Saturday, June 26th, with the main events, a triple threat tag team TLC match for the Combat Sports Pro Tag Team Championships. Also, we are sponsored by Bath AF at I Love Bath AF for the best bath bombs in the world, and Twin Hippo Designs at Twin Hippo Designs on Instagram. Simple designs for lovers of simple things. Eric, what do you got to say? Plug your Instagram and all that good stuff on the way out.
Once again, you can follow me at E_RY_truth. Hit me up for anything bodybuilding, wrestling. Obviously, we kind of went on some tangents here. I love talking about it. I love giving opinions. You always think, you're watching all the other shows. You're like, man, I want to say something. So now's a chance.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, definitely hit me up if you need any products. Animalpack.com. Use my code. It's also in my description on my Instagram. And then other than that, man, hopefully we'll be back definitely for SummerSlam. Talk about that and a couple other things. I'm sad I'm going to miss the Combat Sports Pro show. Get it on YouTube, and we'll start pushing that. I keep telling Lucha we need that show on YouTube.
Well, it's being
So,
broadcasted live this week on like IWTV or something like that. I'll get you the info for it.
yes, please.
And ladies and gentlemen, that has been another episode. It is like almost 5 o'clock. Hell in a Cell is starting real soon. And check us out tonight. Also, after Hell in a Cell, I will be doing a live recap of Hell in a Cell on Instagram at I Hate Gerge Brooms. Check me out on there. And ladies and gentlemen, that has been Eric. I really appreciate you coming on the show. It was a lot of fucking fun.
Appreciate it, man. Awesome.
All right, ciao, y'all.